The Gakti can actually tell you sea Samis. And actually this stone my father gathered himself, so it's quite special to me. We can have different types of Gaktis. This one is made out of wool, and I chose the most traditional colors, blue, red and yellow. And we don't buy the Gaktis in a store. Usually someone in our family makes it for us. For example, older women. But this summer I learned to sew myself. And when I was supposed to sew my Gakti, I wanted a party Gakti. So I bought fabric that is thinner, so I don't get too warm inside the wool. And it has green patterns, almost like flower pattern, all over. Then I chose gray and purple for this. Usually you can see if someone is married or not, just by looking at the belt, because we will wear silver buttons on them. If you have circled silver buttons, it tells you that you're not married. If you have squares, it means that you're married. So when we go on big occasions, we can see from the pattern where the person is from. And if you know where the person is from, you might know who the family is. You can see from the silver if they're rich or not. And you can see from the belt if they're married or not. So then we know who to flirt with. It's a quite good concept, I believe. I am 19 år. Well, in the Sámi language, it was sound like this. Hon är Elisabeth, jag är den 18 och jag Boris. Completely different. We even have a different alphabet. So the Sámi language contains more letters, actually. Do you have any questions so far? If you have any questions at any time, just raise your hand and I will let you ask. Reindeers, they have antlers, both females and males, but they have them at different times of the year. So at this time, the males will actually shed off their antlers. And that happens every year to all reindeers. And it happens completely naturally because of hormones. So one day it will just flop. Did you see the white reindeer out there?
Oh, yeah.
The snowflake, yes. He's one of my favorite reindeers. And he lost his antlers just 7 days ago. So he's like especially vulnerable now. Because when you have their antlers, you're on top of the hierarchy. And the second you lose the antlers, you go all the way down to the bottom again. And since the females have their antlers now in the winter time, it means that it's girl power season. Which is good, I believe. The female reindeers, they are also pregnant at this time. So they need the antlers to protect themselves. They can also push other reindeers away so that they can eat for two. The female reindeers, they give birth around May. So he puts reindeer meat in everything. In nachos, in pizza, lasagna, you know, all the normal foods, just with reindeer meat. Also we can use the blood, and with the blood we can also make food. For example, blood sausages or blood pancakes. I know, it sounds a bit weird. And you know, when you make the pancakes, it becomes brown. So my family, they would tell me that it's actually chocolate pancakes. But it was certainly not. We can take the antlers when they fall off, and we can make different things. For example, decorations like this, jewelry, necklaces, earrings, the shaft of a knife, or even the buttons of our belt. Since I'm not married, I could take an antler like this. I will cut it, and I will have circles for my belt. Quite clever. If we don't take the antlers, then the reindeer will just eat them in a picture. And it's actually really healthy for them. When we slaughter a reindeer, we will also use the skin and the fur, of course, the things you are sitting on. If you try to feel it, the reindeer fur is really hollow, meaning that the reindeers, they're actually really good swimmers. And that the clothing can make you warm. The male, oh, this is actually interesting. The Sámi men, they were also very gakti like this. But it will be shorter, so it's not a dress. Then they wear leather pants underneath, which is made out of the reindeer skin. The way they do that is that they put this kind of thing in the water so the hair falls off. We can make gloves like this. Before the Sámi people, they would go skiing up to the herd on the mountains. Nowadays we are a bit more modernized. We will use the snowmobiles. And when you hold it like this will keep you really warm. I was wearing these type of gloves today. It doesn't keep me warm. And we can also make shoes like this. This shoe is actually quite clever made, because underneath you have the hair that goes in different directions. And that is actually to prevent slipping in the snow. This shoe also has a pattern here. And as you maybe can see, it doesn't match my pattern at all, telling you that the person this shoe belongs to is from another area than me. Also, you might notice something else that is weird about this shoe. And I also kind of have it on my shoes today. Yes, the pointed toe. And the pointy toe is actually for skiing. Before you would have a wooden ski, the shoes, and then just a strap over, like that. And they could go skiing up to the herd. But nowadays we are a bit more modernized and we have these modern skiing boots. It's a lot easier. And we also have this thing. And can you guess what it's for? The babies, yes. And underneath here we have the reindeer skin, so the baby can sleep on, keeping the baby warm. We also have straps to secure it. This thing also has the pattern, telling you where the baby is from. And you have the reindeer skin. Same with the pants, we put these things in the water, the hair will fall off. We can make it brown by using, for example, the bark of the tree. This is something they used back in the old days. And the man who was serving the reindeer stew here, he used to lay in one of those when he was young. But I don't think he would fit anymore. Underneath, there's actually wood. So if a sea Sámi were to bring her baby in the boat, and she somehow accidentally dropped the baby out of the boat, this thing will float. So it's quite clever made. Also, you can just hang the baby up in the tree by using this thing, and the wind will do this. Like our ancestors didn't have to do that before in the winter time, but now they do. And that's probably because the temperature is getting much hotter. And you can imagine it's a lot of stress going up to the mountains with many 100 kilograms of food just to feed the reindeers. But that's also why it's so good that you came today to feed them, because it makes my job much easier.
What do they usually eat in the mountains?
And they eat the things that they find. And you yoik a thing, you don't yoik about it. You can yoik animals, things in nature, even people, as I mentioned. If I were to yoik a bear, the yoik will probably go a bit slow and also maybe a bit dark as the bear. If I were to yoik a rabbit, it might be a bit more bumpy and also maybe a bit more high-pitched or something, just like the rabbit does. That's the same thing you can do for a person. You sort of yoik their personality. And I know a yoik, and it's a quite cheerful yoik, because it's about the land of the Sámi people. And the yoik is called Sámi Adna. Some of you have probably, no, you have probably not, but I like to believe that it's quite famous because it was a part of the Grand Prix. And I want you guys to pay extra close attention because I want you to join me afterwards. And the yoik goes like this. Hey oh le lo le lo le le lo. Hey oh le lo le lo le lo. Hey oh le lo le lo. Hey oh le lo le lo. That's the melody. Thank you. You probably heard it's a bit like and I join me now. So I can start and you will just try to join. Hey, oh, le, lo, le, lo, right, le, lo. Hey, oh, le, lo, right, le, lo. Hey, oh, le, right, le, lo, right, le, lo. Hey, oh, le, right, le, lo, right, le, lo. Hey, oh, le, right, le, lo, right, le, lo. Hey, oh, le, right, le, lo, right, le, lo. Hey, oh, le, right, le, lo, right, le, lo. Hey, oh, le, right, le, lo, right, le, lo. Thank you. You are good, Joikers. So, Ologito everyone for coming today.
Ologito.